Hey, good morning, guys. It's Morgan coming to you with the very first real world test of the Panthera Motorsports E-Start for this YZ250. It's 34 degrees out. It's just after 7. The bike has not been started. It's been in my van all night. I drove out here, so it's ambient temperature. Let's pull the choke on the Electron and let's see what happens. Ooh, kind of like I thought, but these lithium batteries, sometimes you give them a little bit of a and then they'll pick up. Let's give it a second. I honestly wouldn't expect it to start this early in the morning. Give it a second. If that doesn't work, the next time I'm kicking it. Oh, there we go. Hang on. There, that lithium battery's doing its thing. Oh, hang on. Yeah! That's awesome. It took a few times, but like I said, that's how that goes. Those lithium batteries don't like the cold until they get a little charge in them. Let's go ride dirt bikes, guys. Sun's gonna come up. It's gonna get real nice eventually. Come on! I'm here with Capo de Dios! Yeah, buddy! So far the E-Start works great. We're gonna head down in. We're gonna get on Coyote Cutoff, Coyote Ridge. We're gonna go meet a guy. He's coming from the other side. You go first! No, I'm following you! No, I need this! Okay. Off to the left. Yeah. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a card right up here, guys. Oh, it's too funny. Yeah, come on! Something bad happened. What happened? Something bad.
Oh.
It's
I hear it.
The hell is that noise?
I don't know.
I was worried about something. I mean,
Oh no.
well, I mean, I'm worried that
Is it the starter?
it's the starter.
Oh.
The motor sounds great. My initial thought is the ring gear on the starter. There's a sprag clutch anyway. The way that it frees up, right? Like so that it will keep spinning, because the starter, there's not a Bendix. You know, it hits a gear and it doesn't, you know, it locks up in one direction but not the other. My first thought is that like that clutch started to fail.
Yeah. It's a little plug it?
Huh?
Did you unplug it?
No, it's a mechanical thing. It's always hooked. I could take this, theoretically, take the cover up and take the starter out. Let's see what happens, because it could be breaking in and getting hot and like, whatever. We'll give it a shot.
Okay.
I mean, worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario, is I think that's got to be what it is. I think what's happening is that thing's hanging up and it's dragging the motor down.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I can take that thing off, like take the starter out, put it in my backpack, and ride out of here.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. Go ahead. Well, guys, I think she's gonna be all right. Seems like everything's okay. I think that sprag gear or sprag clutch just got hot.
Hey, you might have to re-nickname me.
What's that?
The old lady gang is here.
No, Combo, you're hauling ass.
Oh man, not on that last section.
Dude. So guys, this is Ken Combo de Dios or Holyfield, but he is the guy that I get all my stickers to. So those stickers you guys have been getting that said Dirt Bikes Matter, Two Strokes Matter, all that, he prints those, and he owns GoBigBanners.com.
And now we're in the middle of a commercial in the desert.
Yeah, heck yeah we are. It's part of the deal. He's awesome. I'll put a link to his business in the description below. But so far, I think the E-Start's good. We had a little hiccup there, but I don't know. Seems all right. We're going to find out. We're just going to keep beating on it. She's working. Everything seems awesome, honestly, except for my left hand is cold. Everybody tell Ken don't fall down.
Do not fall down.
All right, guys, we're going to Ewok Village. How's it going?
Howdy. Good, how you guys doing?
Good. Having a lovely time.
Huh?
Having a lovely time breaking in the new E-Start on the YZ.
Yeah, that's what Dave was saying.
Yeah, it's I had one hiccup already, but
Yeah.
I think it's okay. It like drug the motor down.
Huh.
Going down this road, like at the big, we went down the road and then got on the next road. It was like, and I let off the gas and I was like, durr. I'm like, whoa.
Like it engaged, or?
Yeah, like it was engaged. I stopped and it, you know, killed the motor. I'm like, what the? And at first I'm like, God, I hope I didn't foul something up, because I just put a piston in it too, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I hope I didn't screw something up. And then I started it, and it, you know, it was like, and then I started it, and it's kind of, and I was like, because it's got a sprag clutch in it, like. So, well, it's like that now. Instead of the old KTM that had a Bendix that came out and hit, it's just always engaged, but the motor can spin freely this way, but then it catches, you know.
Right.
And I think it just got hot for the first time. I mean, this is the first minute of riding it, and it grabbed, or some piece of schmoo went in there. I don't know, but it's been fine ever since. So good. What's your name again? I apologize.
Alan.
Huh?
Alan?
Alan, there you go. Right on. Yeah, I'm bad with names.
Yeah, me.
I should be better. The number of people I meet, but...
Right. Hit that ice, the turn. I was like,
I was like, and it went right off the trail. I was like, because I was like, you know, it's amazing how quickly your brain can like process. Because I'm in my mind, I'm like, if I try any harder to make this turn, I'm gonna crash. So I just went into the snow and the bushes. What an absolutely beautiful day, guys. So far, E-Start's awesome. We're having a couple little things. I mean, it's working great now, but there's definitely a couple little things that I'm gonna have to address. So why don't we go back to the shop? We'll talk about it there. All right, guys, so we're back at the shop, got the bike on the lift. I'm getting ready to take the cover off and find out why the bike was stalling. It did it twice. I actually didn't video the second one, but there at the beginning of the ride, you guys saw that I stopped and it like something drug the motor down, like all the way down. And I originally thought maybe I messed up the top end, although that would be pretty weird because I've done a million of these and I've never had a problem. But anyway, and it fired right back up, which makes me think the motor's just fine. But after firing it up and listening to it and then it freeing up and being fine, I think there's something wrong with the sprag clutch and how it's attached to the flywheel. Something's going on. It's getting hot and the sprags are engaging and dragging the motor down or something. I don't know. So we're going to get in there and see that. But here's the other issue. You see all this oil. So if you look down in there, that's the grommet where you had to seal that up with the silicone. That's completely dry. So big win right there. Really happy about that. But this is leaking from where the clutch cable comes in and goes into the case. And in the instructions, it says don't seal that up because it'll build pressure and it needs to vent there. And I get that 100%. So awesome. But that's a problem because that's a lot of oil. And it's got the right amount, 250 cc's. But the other thing that is interesting that happened while we were out there that I didn't even think about is that it migrated the oil up to the up the clutch cable and out through there. And I found that while I was sitting there talking to Alan, and I had my goggles sitting on that, you know, just hanging there. And when I wanted to put them on, there was oil inside the goggles. So that's, yeah. So I don't know what to do about that because that's interesting. Although I think I've figured out a solution for this that we're gonna do. I'm gonna do it on a separate video of how I'm gonna fix that, and I will show you guys how that works. I think it's gonna be awesome and work really good. Let's get this drained and get this cover off of here so we can see if maybe that gear isn't moving quite smoothly enough. I don't know. We're gonna take it apart, pull the gear off, and look at all the sprags and everything, and just take a look and see if we got any damage in there. All right, guys. So we got everything off, and everything looks good. There's no like metal anywhere, but this is the part that I'm thinking something's going on. So this is supposed to spin this way, but not this way. And this, what happens is when the starter engages, it spins this, but then as the motor overcomes like speed wise, then it spins free. And I'm having a feeling that there's something going on here that as this gets hot and builds enough heat, something is going on and it's getting it's starting to drag down and then therefore drag the motor down. It's the only thing I can figure because the top end feels great, everything feels great, it ran great, but something's going on. So I'm gonna pull this off of here. We'll take a look inside that sprag clutch and see if there's anything super weird going on. All right, guys, so I think I figured it out. Let me show you what's going on here. So this is the sprag clutch in here. Let me show you. So this piece is what hooks to the flywheel with these little nubbins. And this goes in here. And these little rollers, they can spring that way, but when you go that way, they hook up. So when you put this in, it turns this way, but then not the other way. So if we take a look, I don't know if you guys can see, but this right there is sticking out, and see how it's scratched, and the rest of it is not. So I think what's happening is that gets warm and pokes out, and it's hard to say. It looks like this plate got bent, maybe, and maybe in manufacturing, maybe put together, but they tack welded it too in there, so you can't replace that clutch. You'd have to replace the whole gear, but I don't want to bother those guys with that. I mean, obviously I'm calling Sebastian. We're gonna let him know. I've taken pictures and all that, but I don't want to wait for a part. So I'm gonna see if I can fix this. Let me show you another way you can tell that this is wrong. As if you put this is a relatively straight edge. You put that on there, and it's got a big rock to it, and then everywhere else on those, it's just a little bitty one, but that one is bad. So let me show you what we're gonna do. All right, guys, so Gonna take our handy dandy die grinder with a little bit of Scotch-Brite on there, and we're just gonna basically very imprecisely make that flat. And then we're gonna try it out, right? I'm gonna take it out, ride it, see if I can't. Hopefully it won't do that again, and because that's definitely wrong. I haven't seen anything else that looks weird, so I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. So we'll do this, we'll put it back in there, and then I'll check back in with you guys and let you know, and hopefully it's all good. All right, guys, got that all shined up. Thanks to my buddy Dave, who's right over there. He had the idea of using a stone for sharpening knives and putting a little WD-40 and using that to like really make it nice and smooth, and it did. It turned out really nice. The ruler doesn't do anything weird. I mean, it's not perfectly flat by any means. Any of you machinists out there, don't yell at me. It's not that flat, but it's way flatter than it was. So I'm gonna reinstall this thing, and then I'm gonna shoot a video on how to fix this vent issue. So make sure you subscribe and check that out, because I think it's gonna be a pretty cool idea. All right, guys, so I just took it out and I rode it up and down our frontage road out here a whole bunch. Honestly, faster than I normally would take a 250 YZ up and down a road, because I wanted to get it hot and kind of try to replicate the situation I had with it, you know, pulling the motor down. I got the bike super, you know, all the way up to operating temp, which it was before, and I ran up and down the road for, I mean, miles, like between going up and back and up and back, and no problem. So I think we got that solved. I'm really excited. Definitely make sure you subscribe here and keep an eye on this playlist about this e-start, because if anything crops up, this will be the first place to show it. I'm not afraid to show all the problems with this thing. So yeah, I think we found it. Definitely that weird, like either the weld getting too hot or some weird thing in manufacturing, I think is really what messed it up. And when it got hot, it was causing it to grow and then hit the other part and, you know, pull the motor down. So anyway, really happy about that, guys. I'm super stoked. Yeah, I hope you guys get out and spread the gospel two wheels, and I desperately hope that what we're doing here at Highland Cycles, me and that angry guy right over there, who actually, honestly, is pretty pissed off right now. Like, it's all a big joke most of the time. But right now, Mr. Sheets actually pretty upset, and I'll leave that for the schlag. We'll tie into that one later. But anyway, I hope what we're doing, guys, is inspiring you guys to work on and get out and ride your dirt bikes.